G'day, how you going? Ianapolis here, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to me video. Just want to get some sizes on my canvas there for you so the people that want to know the size of it can write them down. And I'll also get some colours running up the screen there as well. Not many colours in this one, as you can tell. There's only about 3 or 4. Not many anyway. And it's going to be a night scene, cabin, moonlit, sort of snow fluttering around, dangling on things like that. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring you over here because I've done a little bit of a sketch layout, and that's giving you an idea where I want to go with this painting, all right? And we're going to have a bit of a moon lighting up the sky. Not a massive thing, but something there so people, when they look at the painting, they'll go, oh, that's a moon up in the sky there. All right, so get on over here. So I've got my cabin set to the side here. They're going to have the moon up there, just some distant mountains, hills, trees, mid-ground, and a bit of a track. And because the moon's there, there's going to be some lights on in the cabin, and I'll have a bit of light shimmering out there and some shadows. I'll have some, I haven't drawn them in, but I'm going to have some trees here just to have some shadows, and probably some trees there as well. Now down here I've got phthalo blue, dioxazine purple, and my putter on a brush. Don't forget to message me on Facebook if you want to grab one of these and a couple of these blending brushes I use, okay? I'll go with the phthalo blue first, and I'm not using any retarder, so I'm going to give it a bit of a mist of water there, just so as this paint on its own will slide across the canvas, hopefully. I usually like putting, so I'll go to about there. I usually like putting craft white under here, but because it's a night scene, I want it reasonably dark in the sky, and I will add some, oh look at that, what do you call it? Glaring values of the moon. Now that paint's on there. I'm going to wet that, and now everywhere I've wet, I've got to brush it in. If I don't, you'll end up with nonsense on your canvas and you'll be grievously disappointed. So we're getting the colour of the sky there, and I will add a little bit of phthalo blue just so as we can, not phthalo blue, dioxazine purple. So I'm just stroking that left and right. Beautiful dark sky. Look at that, eh? I haven't washed the brush. I ain't even going to muck around with that. I'm just going to get the dioxazine purple, get it on the tips of my brush there. And I mainly want this on the edges, coming around, and on the same over here. Coming around from the edges. Okay, wipe that like a gentleman, and let's stroke this now. Stroke that, try and get that dioxazine purple faded into your blue there. No retarder on here, it's just been neat paint on its own. I'm going to crisscross it a bit. Now all the way across, all the way across. Relax and breathe. Now before the paint on the canvas dries, I've got a reasonable size pound, so use a kitchen sponge, whatever. I want to just get some glare in the sky for the moon. So I'm going to go about here where the moon's going to be, and I'm just going to use this to do the actual putting on and blending. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Come around, come around. Now I want to soften the outsides of that white into the night sky colours there. Just using this pouncer. Now I'm going to put it down like a gentleman. I'm going to grab that blending brush, and I'm going to just softly dab and tinkulate that into the blue, getting rid of that harsh white edge. Dab it, tinkulate it, move it, construct your sky. You got some glare going on there. Get the turmoil going. This is just little stamps up and down with this brush, okay? Same on this side here. I'm going to go all the way over here just to even out. See, I've got lines there from this brush. I'm going to try and cross them out. And we've just got some decent glare from the moon there, which isn't in the sky yet. Now, grabbing a pounce of the size you want your moon to be, how do we do this? We'll get some white on there. Okay, that's just the craft white, and probably some grey. There we go, just so it's not a solid white moon. And we just want to put a decent moon way up in the middle of that there. Now, get it on, give it little bits of jingle jangles like, oh, didn't transfer, so let's give it put it back on there again. Give it a little bit of a twist. Done. Just if you want, grab your glovulated finger and inside there manipulate that around. I'm picking up some more white actually, and that's a bit hard there. Manipulate that so it's got moon facets in there. Okay, there you go, that'll do it. All right, I got my flat toothbrush because I do want a bit of starry action going on, so I'm going to I've got water there, and I'm going to flatten that paint out and then just start pulling some paint into my brush, wet enough so that it can flick onto the canvas. So I just want a couple over here. Let's try it. And a couple maybe on the other side, nothing too dramatic. It's very easy to keep going with that. That'll do it and you'll blow it. I've given this just a light dry here because I want to put the next mid-ground tree, horizon, mountain, hill area in there, okay? And it's going to be a little bit lighter than that. So down on the palette there, we've got some phthalo blue again. I'm just using a brush, a filbert, and I'm mixing up the value that I want. See here? So I'll keep adding. This is just the craft white here. And I want to pretty much come off here come up, down. I've got to virtually follow this mark here. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, you can see that. We'll come up here, put a few tall ones there, come down, and then I'll come up off the painting again, as I like to normally do, come up off the painting. Now I'm going to turn my brush around. All right, now just at the bottom of that, I want to get just a bit of a darker value within that mountain range there. Let's grab a little bit of the dioxine purple and some phthalo blue, just on its own. Let me just see, that's too dark. So I need to brighten up some of that with a bit of white, just so it's a bit darker. There we go, different value than what's up there already, okay? And I want to, this is just mainly here. This can be blended, scrumbled in, just whatever. Let's hope I've got enough of that. Along here, just bits. Jingle jangle it. I'll pull it upwards. I'll pull it downwards. There we go, just so we've got some shadows carrying on in there, okay? Now, same brush, I want to get a lighter value. Now I've cleaned the brush a bit. Let's get some of this a bit lighter. There's the pile that we had, so we know how much lighter to go. Just so we can get a slight bit of moonlight hitting the tops of that there. We want to make this, that dark that I put in there, this colour's going to just hover over it, okay? Mainly at the top there. Scoot it down here and there. Just come down to that darker colour. Good brush this for doing this type of foliage. Get some of it over the darker bits there. Now what I want to do now is get the rest of this middle ground here done the same similar colour. So get this blue, some more white in there. You work out your values. I can only show you how I'm doing it. And we want to go a little bit lighter than what we just put up there. So we've pretty much got land here. Oh, let's get out there a bit. Got a little bit there, so I have to come up to at least there. Boom. And this will just, I'll bring that downwards. And here we want to scrumble it. I might have to put that darker value back. We'll see how we go. But now we're coming to that area. That's what I'm trying to do here. And I do want to get some of that blocked in there. Need it a little bit brighter. I've only used this one filbert so far. Now I've added more white to that paint. Where's the side of my cabin? About here. And this is another layer now. So this is another bit of the field. Come there. I haven't dried that, but maybe I should have. I'll find out later. Come across there. Get that there. Get that coming there. All the way up there. I'll get this down to the road side here. Now where's my road? My road's there, so I'll pretty much map it all in just so as I know where I am. Then I'll add the darker bits later, okay? It's going to be bush there, but the road's going to be about there. So I'm just using this to map it all in. I just want to fix this area here up where I sort of buggered up before. So I want this a little bit darker there. I'll dry that. Now that's had a bit of a dry. I want to get this. Oh, I've got light paint on my brush. That's why I say you don't want no surprises. From the bottom there, and I want to just get this corner a bit darker because it's the edge of the painting, and then I'll bring that blue back over it because I sort of buggered it up there. There's probably just some little bushes out here, I don't know. I'm just doing that to... Now I've dried that, I'm just going to get this colour and bring back over that now, so as we can kind of like sink it back, and we'll come in front of that. Right there, that's it. Let's mix up some more. I haven't got enough on my palette. I want that edge nice and tight, sharp. There we go. So if you watch the video from the beginning all the way through, you'll know what to do and what not to do depending on what mistakes that I've made throughout the video, because I ain't no perfect artist, I'll tell you that right now. And I told you that for nothing. So to get our first bit of popping going, oh it's too wet, is just dry that a bit. I'm going to grab some dioxine purple, and I'll see if we're going to need some black within it. Yes, so I've got some black there. I'm going to pick up some dioxine purple, and I just want to darken it. I'm just going to use this brush on its edge like that, and I'm just going to put something there so you can see what I've done. I've got all these, the dark sky with the bright in front of it, then this bit of dark in front of that. Things are offsetting each other within the painting, okay? These are just some kind of shrubs there, down there like that. There we go. Now I want these trees, there's a couple just I want behind the cabin there to break that up, so we want to See this value here? We want something a bit brighter than that. So there's our colour that was on the ground. So we're going to go a bit brighter than that. We better mix up some more first. So I'll get a whole heap going and get it nice and bright. Where's my cabin? There's going to be one about here. Let's hope that's bright enough. Yep, see how this colour that I'm putting on now is brighter than what's behind it. That's what I want. I want some kind of tree there. There we go. Beautiful, simple and easy. And another one probably out here somewhere. Maybe coming up a bit higher than the horizon line there. Leave some air in it as it's coming down. It's kind of willowy sort of tree-ish. There we go. They're going to be sort of along here, and maybe another one about here somewhere. Now grab yourself a liner brush, and we also want to put in 2 tones. So we'll get this paint on one side and get some white hopefully on the other. So we've got the blue and the white all around the brush, see? This is something Len Hen does a lot of. And keep your light on one side. Let's see, that'll do. Come up, twist your brush, come within that foliage and stop about there. Okay, do another one. Twist it up. This one can come up a bit, that'll do. Give this tree some trunk. And this one here you're probably not going to see, but we need something coming up as well. Where's that white? Now we'll just sink those shrubberies back over it, okay? To do that, wipe your brush and just grab the actual white colour here, which is more whiter. Okay. And we're just going to highlight some of that and sink some of the shrubberies back, but not too much because you don't want it to clash with the background, okay? I can't remember which way I held the brush to do those trees. I'll just try and darken some of these trunks because they're a little bit on the bright side. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Twist, come on. Yeah, that's better. That's it. Now I'm going to use this brush because I don't like the way that's just sitting on the edge there. I want to sink that in and give it a bit more realistic. So I'm going to grab some of my darkest colour, which is obviously the blue here, I suppose. And I'm just going to put my shrubs in along the bottom roughly where I want them. So they're going to sort of come in a straight line and then shrubulate up, but the bottom is going to be the darker area of them all, okay? Probably out here a little bit. That's it. Come forward a little bit. Now before I highlight them, there's my moon, so I'm going to draw a line there. I want some shadows coming out. These trees have the shadow there. So I want to kind of come from there and just sort of put something coming across the lawn there like that. Shadows make all the difference in a paint. You want the lines coming all the one way. Now we're going to grab some of the lighter colour, which is pretty much the white and that. So, get them there, keep the bases dark. Okay, I'm going to use the rest of this blue here, mix up some more of that with the phthalo blue, just so I can finish the bottom half and get all the appropriate little pieces in there. Because this area here will have, that's going to come probably over this way, ooh, down there like that. This is going to have pretty much a lot of the phthalo dark colours in it. Let's get that up there. So I've got colour there. It's just going to have different values there. It's going to be purpley, but I want something there now to get going. Now there's going to be maybe a bit of a fence line there and some shrubbery there, so I'll do that now so that can be put behind it. Maybe a little bit of dioxine purple in it. I've dried what's on the board, and I want to come, there's me cabin there, so I want to come from the edge there out, just like that. There's going to be a fence in front of this, and then pretty much in a straight line all the way here, there'll be some other shrubbery here. You can add these if you want, or you just leave them out, it's up to you. Now let's just quickly highlight some of that. So I'm just going to wipe that brush, hopefully it'll work, and pick up the lighter blue that we got here with all that white in it. Nice and hairy you want it, nice and open. Somewhere around there. Okay. All right, now I've dried this, but now here, before I put the fence in, I want to start gradiating the colour of this road, and that's got more dioxine purple within it. So I'm going to get the dioxine purple, and it's got some of the blue mixed, so I don't care. Different flavours here. And from about here, there's going to be fence is going to be there, so all this is just going to be gradiating up to there. Because what I want to do, where's my road? My road's going to sort of come about here. About there. So because that road is behind this area here, I want to put the highlights in there first and then come forward. Okay, so all this can be just scratched out there too, this darker bluey, dioxine-y, purpley colour. Get some messy lineals up there. There we go. Now we're going to paint this track in and then put this foreground on. So we've got pretty much the light colour blue again. Let's get, have we got any more phthalo there yet? Mix up some light colour. These strokes, I don't want to bring them around the way the track is. I want the track to stay in cahoots with the horizon line. So we're going to get this in cahoots. This is how you keep a track looking reasonable. And we're going to go all the way up here. Probably somewhere there. The thickness of this will be covered. So we want it going into that dark there. There we go. That's it. That is it. Now I'll darken the other side up with that dioxine purpley colour we were using. So we're just going to map this in. So what I want to do is get the height of it to where I want, right up there, and it's going to come along. I should have dried that track. See, it's washing into that white, so I'm going to dry that. And with the magic of YouTube video editing, it's dry, and then we're going to sort of come here. Where's that colour? Don't want it too watery. I could see bits of it. Now, break it up here and there. I'm going to use a fan later. I'm just getting the undertone colour here for this, but I'm doing it sort of mishy-mashy like nature would intend things to look like. Get a little bit dangulating up there. Getting your fan brush, grab a dollop of white and grab some dioxine purple. get it this way and that way. And I want some grass sticking up here, just in front of that. And maybe some here. That'll do. Just bits of dioxine. Now I'm going to wipe that brush, get a lot of that white off it, pick up just the plain dioxine purple and get some darker bits scooting up over that mid-tone that we just put up there. Now let's grab a little bit of this light coloured phthalo blue and mix a darker value with it. So I'm getting some more phthalo blue into that. But we don't want it too darky dark, but you know. Get a liner brush and we're going to put a fence along the middle there. So if you've got a bullshit stick, grab that and that'll help you gauge it. So I want it, where are we, the edge of me things there. So I want this fence coming probably from about there all the way down to here to nothing. Let that paint go. So I'm going to turn the brush, pick up some more. Is that dark enough? Probably want it a bit darker anyways. Yeah, that's a better value. Just to about there. Now I made a mistake just there and I'll tell you what I did. And I didn't want to do it, but I've already done it. I put this post over the dark shadow of that bush there and you can't see it. Okay, so now we're going to put like a... Now these come a bit below that beam and these will come a bit smaller as we go. One there. Do one about here. We'll do one about here. They're going to get a little bit smaller as we go. See how I've got, that's better. You've got two values of white on the brush there. Just looks a bit better. And we're having roughly, I don't know, a few middle runs there. These are a little bit like boundary fences for horse, cattle, something. This is probably just farmland out there somewhere in the middle of the moonlight. And we'll probably put one here. And hopefully it looks a bit like a fence. Let me have a look. Over here, yeah. That's it. Now before I put these trees in, I just want to get a bit of like, there's that light there. I want to get a bit of light scooting across here. I'm going to put this here so I can get the yellow on top. This is like a base coat and this will be where the trees are, and there's obviously light hitting some of this stuff here as well out here, some moonlight hitting it. Get rid of those patterns if you can help it. I want one about here. So put the brush on, twist it, give it a bit of a tree there, boom. Boom. I'm just getting a bit of dark and bright on different sides of the brushes. Want another one about here. Twist it till you get the trunk the way you want. Boom. Light on one side, dark on the other. Twist, there we go, bang. That'll do. Probably give them just that fork about there somewhere. I wanted that dark, not bit of a fork, just where it's folding. And we'll probably can put dark, light, a bit of a old post here as well. Where's the dark colour? Come on. Now I want to use my filbert, my scrumbler, just to put the foliage on those. So we'll start with the dark dioxine purple. Where'd that go? It's all here. And I'm going, so these trees are going to be pretty well up there. So we'll, about there. Careful not to get rid of the air in between your bushes. You need air within the middle of them. About there. How's that? And a bit more wider, I reckon. Yeah, that's okay. And the other one now. Leave an air, get right up above the sky there a bit. Mainly don't cover those forks up. And just grabbing this lighter value with the scrumbling brush. And I want to keep the middles dark, but I want to kind of lighten the edge without any patterns there. Getting that long line there, I don't like that. Let's try this one. Highlight that with pure white right on the very edge. I've just put some titanium white in that brush and just the whitest on the edge there. I'll even put some of this along here. Pretty much the colour I want coming out the door will be yellow, so I'm going to just sort of scratch in this here so the yellow can go over it. Okay, just to create that light. I've just put the slightest Indian yellow into that, and let's dance that across here where it is. And that's got to have ground there, so I can go back to that later. I'm grabbing a flat brush where the door is on the cabin and the window. I'm going to prime it in white, titanium white from the tube. So where is it? Where are we? So as I can put my yellow highlights, so it'll sit on there solidly. So that's enough there. Now I'm grabbing a decent size flat, and this has got a bit of black mixed with it, the dioxine purple. Get off there, you big lump. Now you want this reasonably watery, not watery, but inky, so it's going to transfer, because I just want to now block in me cabin quickly and highlight it. So we've got our roof from about here. I've drawn it in so I've got my perspective reasonable, hopefully. And the roof's going to come all the way down here. Now see the edge? You want to fill that in. You don't want it to be a bit of white between there and the background. Now my window. quickly block that in. Grabbing another flat, I'm grabbing some of the Indian yellow now and mixing some light yellow with that titanium white. This is just the light inside the window. So I want to just put it over all that white that I did there, and then when I paint the window frame over it, this will just look like light inside is on. The lights are on, but is someone home? We don't know until we knock on the door, so I better put the door in. Well, the door's going to be jarred open a little bit, so I don't have to do all the door, just down this side here where it's coming through on the ground, like that. Because this light is what's coming out there, but I've got to push. All right, now that we've finished all the light, I can finish blocking in, and that's why I like these flat brushes. Look at it, they're good for blocking in, let's say, a blocky square looking cabin. Use different size brushes to, that'll come down to about there somewhere, because I'm going to have a shrub there just to hide some stuff there, and the door will be jarred open about there. And who knows if it opens inwards or outwards. I don't know which bloke installed the door on this cabin, but if it was me, I would have it opening inwards for an entry. But I think this guy who put this on, he did it the other way. Doesn't matter though. Now what we're going to do is highlight that cabin to make it look bullshittingly good. And before we do that, I just better put the window panes within the glass. Oh, get it on the right angle, you dag. Now to highlight the cabin, I'm just going to grab some of the white. So I better grab some more dioxine. I remember when I first started painting, when I saw the word dioxine, I was like, how do you pronounce that? And then phthalo blue, what colour is that? How do you pronounce that? And alizarin crimson and all these colours, but they're okay now. Now we're going to highlight everything. So we'll just give the door a bit of a planky feel like that. And this has got, I don't know, it's going to be a bush there, so don't worry about that. I want the bigger brush to do the roof. Is that showing anything? Yeah. I've got to highlight this, so don't worry. That'll do. Now I'm going to get some really white values within that paint and get happening up the roof there like that. Good enough, good enough. You can muck around with this till the cows come home and do all sorts of weird and wonderful things, but I'm just going to keep it to this for now. It's got a bit more white for the ridge cap. Is that white or what? Didn't want it that white, you dag. I'm just going to have to taint it down a bit. Just grabbing some black, getting a trunk there, and maybe something here. That's why I didn't detail this end of the cabin. It's just going to have some nonsense in front of it. Let's grab a bit of the dioxine purple and black, because I want like a... No, I need more black in that one. Bits of shrubbery out here. There we go. Now grab that filbert we use for the trees, and we're going to use the blue, the dark blue, the white. I better get some more blue on there, and get some foliage up here. Oh, it's not, that's too dark. I've just added more white. There we go. Now I want these to come around about there, and then we'll add darker values within the middle of that, okay? So I'm just going to wipe that brush and pick up the dioxine purple and get that all darkened in here as well. There's some trunk. I might have to fix those trunks up. I'm going to taper this back into there, just so that's not so bluey blue. There we go. Because I just want some, there we go, I want some shrubbery coming out there. Let's get this done better. There we go. That one's done. Now I'm grabbing the whiter side of the blue just to highlight this bit here, and then we'll highlight the dioxine bit. Let's hope this is the right shade. A little bit more whiter. That'll do. So we want nice fluffy over all that dark that we just whacked on there. Okay, coming all the way down here over the roof there. Probably about there. I also am just going to run up some black trunks through there. Now we just want to highlight the dioxine purple for those trees up there. So pretty much got, I'm thinking that these are like in front. This shrub here I'm going to bring in front of the door of the house there. And a little bit of light dancing across the top of there. Where are we? There's a bit of light coming out of this window. Where's my brush? Just highlighting the top of this, whatever it is, it's a bush there. All right, I'm grabbing that colour that I used here and I'm just kind of dancing over this now, leaving a lot of the darks, but just doing this. Just, I don't know, trying to feel artistic about what I'm doing. And I just want to come off the painting now. You want these nice and, yeah, just there if I can. Maybe not so much out there. Now grab a darker colour, not too dark though. Let's see what colour this is. We'll try that. Now see these trees, we want some shadows off them. No, I've got to go darker, that's clashing. So I've just grabbed a bit of black within that and we'll start again. So we'll come from this one and try and keep your shadows all in the same. How's that looking in the monitor? Yeah, not too bad I suppose. All in the same way, you know what I mean? I think I went crooked there. Yeah, I bloody did. I'll fix that up. I'm going to grab that brush, dance all this out, highlight it the way I had it highlighted. Oh no, I've gone and made it look a bit more stupider, but we'll get there. Now we want this coming from about there, this way. Give me a look there. That'll have to do it. I've just darkened that bright area up and singing it back down because it was a bit too, you know, loud. Just didn't quite look right. I'm just looking over it. I'm just grabbing a little bit of white in another brush. I've just picked up a flat filbert. And yeah, there we go. I want to get some values of white. Probably could have a there we go. Just something to highlight that hill out there as well. We can put that shadow back. Yeah, some purpley white here. Oh, I'm just hoping for the best here, really. Okay, let's sign this and we'll whack a frame on it. And check out the links in the description below. Become a member of my art group. Message me on Facebook, not in the comments below, if you want to get hold of some of the blending brushes that I use. Share, like and subscribe. Okay, let's whack a frame on it and see how she looks. Oh yeah, that's not too shabby in a frame, is it? Some paintings look better in frames than others. But anyway, we've got the moonlight light cascading across the path. We've got a track there, we've got some shadows, we've got distance, we've got stars in the sky. And just remember, you can do that. Okay, I hope you had fun watching this video and you give this a go and you post it in my art group, become a member there. Like I said, check out the links in the description below. And if you like what I'm doing on my channel, you make sure you tell your friends. But if I've upset you in any way, you tell everybody, okay? All the best, goodbye, good luck. Good on you.